Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091 and welcome back to Let's Play Super Danganronpa 2. Last time we left off, we tried putting everything together and now we're saying who, considering the rooms and considering who heard the noise, who is the culprit. And I really didn't want to believe it because at the end of the last episode I'm like, it can't be, after I was thinking about it with you guys, and I looked it up, and yes, my terrible, it was right. You gotta think about who had deluxe rooms. And the girls, it was Sonia and Nanami. And the guys, it was Komaeda and Tanaka. How then did Tanaka hear the noise? No, I really, really hope this leads somewhere else, because you are really one of my favorite characters right now. Don't do this. Tanaka, there's something I need to ask you. When the alarm rang in the Strawberry House, you were there too, right? Yes, and what of it? If one hears the gospel of perdition in such a night as dark as a jet, it is the universe's duty to try and stop it. How did you hear it then? What do you... You were in one of the deluxe rooms too, weren't you? If Komaeda in the same building, on the same floor, in the same type of room, wasn't able to hear anything, how could you have heard the sound of that alarm? Holy shit! Now that I think about it, he's right! Tanaka? There's only one possibility. It was because you weren't in your room when that happened. That's why you went to the lounge even though your room was soundproofed. Tanaka, you did have some reason, don't you? Most likely, Tanaka was unable to return to his room because of Kazuryu. Because of me? After you watched Nidai go down to the first floor, you stayed in the lounge for a while, right up until the alarm went off. No? Since you were in the lounge the entire time, then wouldn't that obviously mean that the murderer wouldn't be able to get past you back to his room? In some ways, this murder, which used Meka Nidai's own alarm to kill him, could be considered a suicide, but all the preparations had to have been done by the murderer. You mean how he put Nidai into sleep mode and tied him up with that wire? In order to do that, the murderer had to have been waiting in the tower before Nidai got there. So when Kazuryu saw Nidai, the murderer must have already left. But when he was done and tried to get back to his room, you're saying that because Kazuryu was there, he wasn't able to go back. In his original plans, he probably thought to return to the room before the alarm went off. And he would have stayed there. I doubt he intended to go to the lounge. Because then, he could have explained that he didn't hear the alarm or earthquake noise because he had been sleeping in his room. You mean, like us just now. And the other two, if the other two in the lounge had gone to check up on him in his room, that would have been the best scenario for him. If they'd seen him asleep, they would have given him a perfect alibi. But unfortunately, his attempt to manufacture an alibi ended in failure. Because I was in the lounge. And robbed the chance to return to his room once the murderer heard an alarm. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, that thing is louder than the bellows of the conqueror of the underworld. But why'd he go out there? He could have just stayed hidden until everything died down. If the other two had decided to check on the rooms, then they would have realized he wasn't inside. So, because something like that might happen, he couldn't just stay hidden. Had everything gone according to plan, then coming to check on him would have been the best case scenario. But how unfortunate! Because Kazuryu was out there, such an action turned from the best into the worst case scenario. Tanaka, do you have anything to say? I shall ask you, Between the eye and the four dark gods of destruction, how many ears do you think we possess? Huh? The answer is 10. Yes, and that means I have the power of 10 ears. Thus, my hearing capabilities are 5 times those of a mere human. The soundproofing of that room could not hope to compare. You're not actually expecting us to take you seriously right now, are you? Do you even fucking understand what kind of situation you're in right now? Do not rush past so quickly. Here is the truth. At that time, I left for the restroom, and by chance, I happened to hear that noisy alarm. Yes, that's the truth. As a rule, the world tends to be quite simple. It was chance, you say? Isn't that a little too convenient? As this has brought me under such suspicion, I would rather describe it as inconvenient. So he means to fight it until the end. Is that it? Well, why don't you admit it if you don't want to? You don't have to admit it if you don't want to. After all, it is decided by a majority vote. Then, shall we start voting? After all, it's been decided the culprit is Tanaka. Hey, wait a second. As for you, Hinata, you see, this kind of trial or murder, it's only as good as a trailer. Hey, what do you think you're saying, calling this trial a trailer? No, perhaps I should call it a comedy instead. This level of comedy, it's so boring and the stress is driving me mad. It's so boring and it's giving me stomach ulcers. And that's why, before I collapse or die, let's just end this quickly. Komaeda, something's going on with you, isn't it? You've been acting strange ever since the investigation. What the hell's up with you? You found something out, haven't you? Worry about that later. For now, let's just finish this trailer. There you go, calling this a trailer again! A moment, please! We haven't even heard Tanaka's objections. He's not saying anything, is he? Is that enough? Tanaka! I really hope this isn't true. I was merely rendered speechless by the impertinence of you peons. Now I shall start with the fundamentals. Your reasoning has been wrong from the start. From the start? If your claims are to be believed, I strung up Nidai up in the Strawberry Tower on the 4th floor, then moved the tower down to the Grape Tower on the 1st floor. Then returned to the Strawberry Tower and entered the lounge? I must truly have been busy. How could I have gotten between 2 houses so easily? Oh, that's right. The elevator was broken. The murderer broke the elevator panel on the Grape House's side and stopped the elevator. Meeting the elevator stopped on the Grape Tower side. Then, the last person to use the elevator must have left it at the Grape House, for it is not an undeniable fact that the elevator broke down at the Grape House. What does that have to do with anything? It means that since the elevator broke down at the Grape House, he couldn't have taken it back to the Strawberry House. It is so. I was at the time at the Strawberry House, including at the moment in time the alarm went off. In other words, your reasoning is wrong, I say. He's gotta be kidding. I thought we were done. Do you understand now, mortals? You cannot support this mess of contradictions. That's not true. Yes, this is a contradiction. This contradiction exists because one of the assumptions is wrong. Then there shouldn't be a contradiction I can't break. This is bothersome. Okay, let's just go ahead and get this going. The elevator was designed to move between 2 houses. As it was broken. And your reasoning is destroyed. Ah, that elevator. It broke down at the Grape House. If the culprit could not return to the Strawberry House, then I, who was at the time at the Strawberry House, could not have committed the crime. If there were some alternative, the story would be different. Or if there was some sort of secret passage. How long will we continue to speak of such fantasies? Is it not time to end this now? There shouldn't be a contradiction I can't break. There's contradiction that exists because one of the assumptions is wrong. If I can't do it by myself, let's use one of the other kids' words to help. So they're basically saying that we have to use one of the words that somebody said. And remember, Owari said that maybe there was some type of secret passage. And sure enough, I'm gonna have to use that. There you go. Secret passage. So, now the thing is, I gotta figure out which thing to use it at. The elevator. There we go. I think it was designed to move between two houses. I think that's the secret passage right there. I mean, he's saying that that's the only way to do it, but I think there must have been another secret passage that he possibly found. No, there's another way to go between the two houses. There is no such thing. Then, should we ask the guy who's actually used that route? Yep. This isn't really an assumption, but we gotta, like, point out the person who used the secret passage. And it was none other than Komaeda. It's like, how the hell did you get from one place to another somehow? So I think this is how we're gonna figure it out. It could only be you. He's like, Komaeda, you know what we're talking about, don't you? Hmm? What do you mean? Stop messing around. You used that passage to appear so suddenly back then, didn't you? And he's like, oh, we were like, hey, how'd you get here? He's like, oh, I just came by. I'm sure there must be some sort of secret passage from the first floor of the Strawberry House to the third floor of the Grape House. Am I right? So, yet again, it's the reserve student who forces me to act. That's right. There's a trap door in the floor of the Octagon. As I went down through that trap door, imagine my surprise. I came out in the Monokuma Museum at the third floor of the Grape House. Then the third floor and the fourth floor were connected? Well, hey, hold on a minute. There we go. Once you beat the final dead room, you're allowed to use that passage as often as you wish. If you're able to use that secret passageway, then you can easily go back and forth between the two houses. Oh, I really don't want to do this. Come on. I don't even know which one to use here. Oh, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? Okay. Where the hell did that thing start? Hear me. And what if the culprit has been unaware of this fact about the final dead room? There's no way the culprit couldn't have known. It is now outside the realm of possibility. If you value your life, then I would advise you to halt any further inquiries. There's no excuse to do any halting. What? Do not anger me! I have been patient in order to not destroy you, but that patience is about to shatter! Really, now is it? Okay. Now he's gonna be saying a bunch of weird stuff, like, you know... let's see, if it was much like a wormhole and some chaos elevation, God knows what else. Yeah, right now I'm just focusing on just getting rid of this, getting rid of these. Because it's kind of hard to concentrate and do this, or try, you know, doing this at the same time. It seems we're doing okay. Ah, whatever. Cross swords. Circle, circle. No. Oh, wait. Oh, thank God. Woo! We've already established that there was a secret passage, and that passage was in the Octagon. No, the boundaries and speculations. This, whatever. There you go. I say I took a guess there. I thought it was gonna be the first one because I think the guide kind of points to it, but from my previous experience with that, wasn't always right. But yeah, I think it has to do some of that wire, which you can only probably find. Well, what do you guys think? The wire that was wrapped around Nidai's body, along with the decoy murder weapon, and the chain that was wrapped around the floor, around the door inside the tower. Yep. Come on. They're all things found inside the tower, and the culprit. Where could the culprit gotten those things? There's nowhere other than the Octagon. As that room was filled with a broad variety of weapons and tools, there would undoubtedly have been wires, hammers, and chains as well. If the murderer used those things, it makes it clear that he must have been to the Octagon. Huh. Then he would have known that there was a secret passage there too, of course. Huh. Is that all then? Normally this would have been a point of trial where Hinata so carefully lays out every single step in a murder, but since it would be unfortunate to waste any more time on this trailer, I'll just run through it quickly. Hey, you can't just... And they're actually it's kind of funny, they're actually playing the, are they playing the music? Wait, he's doing it, like, really fast. First, Taka moved all clocks in the building, in all likelihood the elevator was already broken at that point. Thanks to unable to move the grape tower and he died, well, he probably would have went to the strawberry tower instead, wouldn't he? Just like when we realized the elevator was broken. In fact, it's almost certain that he would have done so, since we were under the impression the two towers were actually the same room. And yeah, they are playing a climax inference music here. And since the strawberry doors button would have been operational at that point, he would have no difficulties getting in that room. But imagine his surprise when he saw Tanaka there, waiting for him. Wait, what's he do? What was he doing if Nidai hadn't gone to the strawberry tower? Well, it is a planned riddle of potential problems, but it wouldn't have been a major problem if it had been failed. After all, he would just have to try again tomorrow. Also, he wouldn't have been able to call Nidai down without at least that amount of risk. Then, I'll keep going. Through this scheme, Tanaka managed to bring Nidai down alone into the strawberry tower, but surely there's no way he would have been able to defeat Nidai's robot form in single combat, so Tanaka instead pressed Nidai's goodnight switch and shut him down. A moment, you peon. What was it you just said right now? Did not even fight? What of it? Do not make me laugh. Do not make me laugh. I cannot simply let such an accusation stand. Why are you getting so angry all of a sudden? You bastards, you do not know. You do not know nothing. It's hilarious that I've come so far, yet you truly know nothing. We don't know anything. What the hell is that supposed to mean? It seems that we are not yet finished. I've always been one worthy of being dropped into hell, and yet now we've not yet finished. We cannot be. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Tanaka, but please, you're freaking me out, man. Well, I don't know what it says. What are you even going to do? What else? I shall destroy your inconsistency written arguments. You mean you're still denying it? You bastard said I have pressed Nidai's goodnight switch. That switch was the back of Nidai's neck. If I wanted to press, I would have been riding upon his back. You can't get around that guy that easily. And if it were a one-to-one match, it would have become that much harder. As I expected, a fragile argument. Do you think I would fall to you so easily? Perhaps you've been living in a simple illusion. If you truly wish to convict me of the culprit, I at least return after which you have transcended for your mortal forms. That's wrong, Tanaka. The one who's wrong here is definitely you. What a refreshing catchphrase. And yet, understand this. There are two ways of forcing another to recognize defeat. I will teach you these. One is use one's overwhelming strength to silence the enemy, and the other is convince that person through an unopposable reason. As for you peons, you have not yet accomplished either. So, he's still not admitting it. Then, just like he said, so that he won't be able to refute our accusations anymore, I'll come up with the conclusive evidence. Oh boy, so yeah, this is gonna be the panic thing, so guess we'll just have some fun here. Oh, that's how I reload square. Did I do that before? I thought I did it before, but I guess not. Oh crap, I gotta get rid of those. I don't know why the hell I suck at these so much. Oh, stock 0. Okay. Ugh. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm actually hitting the thing right. I guess I am. I focus too much on like the actual like rhythm and not the words and whatever, or the amount of bullets I have left. Oh shoot! That wasn't right. Now what is a damn... There! How the hell did I not get that beforehand? Jeez. Okay. Where was I? I don't even know. This video is going on for way too damn long, but I'll stop before we actually get to the major, the climax portion. Where was it? There we go. And actually, I spelled out the 4 Dark Lords of Darkness and Destruction. The hamsters. He used them to his damn advantage. Even if he died, didn't turn his back, there was a way for you to get to a switch. If you had help of those hamsters you always carry around with you. Who? Do you mean those hamsters press the button in the back of the guy's neck? If they were ordinary hamsters, they might not have been able to, but Tanaka's hamsters could do it. We all saw their skills, remember? Oh yeah, we saw them push a button. Yeah, we remember that. See? Okay, they're smart. Now that I think about it, they did the same thing at the music club when Miyota died. Tanaka's went up to the cables on the ceiling and get that scrap of paper, remember? If it were your brilliant little friends, then yes, it would have been easy for them to do something like that. To go behind Makanidai and press the switch in the back of his neck. What do you say, Tanaka? There's just an evil laugh there. Even if it could have not been done. Even if it could have been the. Excuse me. I cannot speak at all, and I gotta sneeze and everything. Even if could not have been done such a thing myself, to say that I utilized the greatness of my underlings, I suppose I can only admit it is true. Admit? Did you just say you would admit it? It seems I have been in possession of a one-way ticket to hell. Very well then. Trample my body while on your own path. The victory is mounted upon the piles of the dead. There exists no such thing as peace without sacrifice. Step over this, my life, then walk over me like trash that litters the streets. Use my hand to tear away this theater of the trivial. Okay then. I guess we'll do that. Now, you know what? I'll do this in this episode, and then right after this, I'll make a new video. It'll be the finale of this case, I guess, this chapter. So, let's think here. Actually, I can't. I don't even know what's what. I think the blue signifies the different acts. I don't even know. So, let's see. Messing with the control switch. Ah, right here, I think he's messing with the clock. Okay. So we're not going to be using that because it's right here. He wakes up. Oh no. He's going to get Tai Chi. He uses the hamsters to press the switch. I guess that makes sense. Sees the time. Don't know. Not this either. Oh, maybe that's when he took. Okay, there's that. That's easy enough. I think this is where he puts down the hammer. There, so like kind of like get everything going, you know, like make all the evidence. Now let's do this. Go back up here. Actually, yeah, this one I know it's him waking up. That one's easy enough. This is already used. I saw this one already used. Pressing a switch. Easy as that. This. Is that him waking up? Okay, good. So far, so it's pretty easy. This is the final one. I wasn't even paying attention. This is used. That's already used. Actually, I don't know. I think this is where he messes with the door. Good. And this is where he was hanging? Actually, oh shoot, it was right there on the right. Should have saw that. So, the one, I gotta use that clock somewhere. How many are left? Strawberry clock. Does it make sense if it's right here? I don't think it does. I don't know why the hell I did that then. Oh, damn! I wasn't even paying attention. Wait, that's not his clock, is it? Oh, never. Wait, that is it then. Oh, jeez, the hell's wrong with me? Now we're at the final stock. Okay. So, only one left are those two. Yep, that's where the handle must have broke. And the last one, that would be tying him up to the handle. Okay, that's that. So let me go ahead and read this, and I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode. I really can't believe that Tanaka would do something like this. Pissed off, but what can you do? Let's gotta start here. Okay. I'll start by describing what the murderer did to prepare for the crime. One was breaking the elevator. Because of this, no one else was able to move between the strawberry and the grape houses. Next, in order to isolate Nidai and Tower, in order to isolate Nidai and Tower, the murderer moved back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Moreover, to create an alibi for himself, he set the alarm in the Strawberry House lounge at 5:30. After he was done with the preparations, the murderer took all the weapons he needed and went to the Strawberry Tower. He got those tools from the Octagon, which was given access to him after completing the final dead room. Crap, so the murderer knew about the secret of Funhouse too. The fact that the Strawberry House and the Grape House were part of the same building, I mean. Eventually, Nidai, who had woken up that morning due to his own clock, walked down to the Grape Tower. While this is happening, Nidai happened to be seen by Kuzuryu, who was in the lounge. According to Kuzuryu's testimony, this was around 5 in the morning. But because the murder had messed with our ability to see what time it really was, when Kuzuryu saw Nidai, it was really around 7. 7 a.m. was the scheduled time for the Monokuma Tai Chi, and that was the reason that Nidai was going to the Grape Tower. But since the elevator was broken, he wasn't able to get down there, so he decided to go to the Strawberry Tower instead. But when he got there, the murderer was waiting for him. Using the hamsters he had bred and trained, the murderer activated a good night switch on the back of Nidai's neck. And Nidai fell into sleep mode, and he became powerless. Next, the murderer prepared the scene so that he would be able to utilize the ultimate weapon. First, he set the alarm on Nidai's radio clock to 7:30. So you could set that thing, I guess. Oh, yeah, I guess you can. Whatever. Then after he tied up Nidai using a wire, the murderer tied the end of the wire into a noose and hung it from the door handle. And then, after using a secret password in the Octagon and traveled to the Grape Tower, the murderer went to the Grape Tower and pressed the button to open the open the grape doors. And, never mind, I'm still a little ahead of myself there. Alright, he pressed the button to open the grape doors. Jeez, where the hell? Must have been far ahead. And so the elevator-like tower lowered itself to the ground, and 4 floors up, Nidai was hanging precariously from the wire. After entering the tower to check that everything was in place, the murderer placed a hammer on the ground to look like the murder weapon and wrapped a chain around the fake strawberry door inside the grape tower. This was to make us think that we would be unable to enter the strawberry tower, a plan that keeps us away from that place. After finishing all this murder, returned through the secret passage and planned to go back to his room, so he would have an alibi for Nidai's time of death. But something prevented him. Kazuryu, who had seen Nidai leave, was still waiting in the lounge. The murderer was waiting there, unable to return to his room, and when that time came... 5:30. In reality, 7:30, and the preset alarm in the Strawberry House went off. And to prevent the worst-case scenario, the others realizing he was missing, the murderer slipped into the lounge. And at the time the alarm went off was also the same time that Nidai was scheduled to wake up. Nidai, who had woken up upside down and disoriented, began to move, probably without fully understanding what he was even doing. And... yeah. The murderer had planned on a move that causing the wire to slip off and send Nidai crashing to death. But the stress of the wire, greater than he expected, brought the door handle off with it. And then Nidai, who fell in like the main tower building. Yeah. He hit the column on the way down and died because of the impact to his head. And at that moment, the sound of Nidai's crash rang out throughout the funhouse. But the murderer's plans had started to go wrong. Because of the broken door handle and because of Kazuryu, you see this person has slept in the deluxe room and shouldn't have been able to hear the alarm. The person who was prevented by Kazuryu from returning to his room was none other than our supposedly good friend, Tanaka. It can only be you, Tanaka! Impressive. This video's going on for super long. Truly impressive. For a mere mortal, you do possess some skill. No. Stop. Using all those ridiculous words to distract us. Just stop it now! If you don't, I think I'm gonna kill you myself! I can't believe this. That someone like you could have murdered Nidai. I cannot possibly believe it! Can you not forgive me? Is it too mortifying? Then end it now! Throw your corrupt votes at this Tanaka Gundam. Oh, my beloved enemies, the time for voting has come. Well, what is there to even say about all this? I really don't know what to say here, guys. I mean, I'm pissed off, really. Tanaka was seriously becoming one of my favorite characters. If not, you know, he was definitely one of my favorites. And then this happened. Nidai was one of my favorites. Like, 2 of one of my more, like, favorite characters will go, boom, like that. Yeah, I guess the next episode, because this episode went on for way too long. Next episode, I'll just finish this off and, see what's going to be happening. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Super Danganronpa 2. I'll see you guys later.